Welcome to a community conversation. This time, our guest is A.J. Woodson. He's the editor-in-chief of Black Westchester, a online and print magazine. And my name is Michael Witch. I'm with LMC Media. Welcome, A.J. Woodson, and thanks for joining us on this community conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you're most welcome. And you've got a brand new book out, and the title is Black Westchester Celebrates Black Women in Westchester.
Yes. Originally I was doing, being Black Westchester, a lot of what we cover is history.
Sure.
Sean Patterson Howard, the first Black female mayor, Vivian McKenzie, the first Black female mayor in Peekskill. So I was covering a lot of these, I covered these as I went along. And I was just going to gather all this stuff from the website, and it was going to be men and women. And I started looking up some stuff on the women. And as you go further back, it is harder to find the achievement of women. Once you go past the 70s and the 60s, it's easier to find Black men in Westchester who've done stuff. It was harder to find. So I just started, just zoomed in on just doing the women. And this thing took on a life of its own.
And you've got a local woman who you've profiled among the women in the magazine, in the book. Leilani Yiser Reed is in there.
Yes. She is the first African-American, what do you call it? Village trustee?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes.
Mamaroneck, yes.
Yes. So so the book is in 4 parts, 5 parts. The first part are women like Leilani, say her name again, I missed it. Leilani. Women like her who accomplished made history in the last 8 to 10 years while we've been doing Black Westchester. My mother always said, give me my flowers while I'm alive. So the first part is all of that. The second part are women who made history, who paved the way, like Lois Braun, Pearl Qualls, and a lot of them. The third part are women, they might not necessarily have made history, but they were women that were worthy of being celebrated, like Sandra Blackwell of the Westchester County Press. And there's a tribute to Ruby Dee. And the fourth part is actually a timeline in Black women history in Westchester. And the only requirement was that they didn't have to be born here, they actually lived here at some point. And it goes back to 1828 when Sojourner Truth, she lived in Briarcliff Manor, I believe. She was the first African-American to sue a white man and win in court. And it goes through history. Madam C.J. Walker, who lived in Irvington, I believe. And it just goes all the way up to January of this year.
Who do you think should read this book?
Well,
anybody in particular?
I definitely think it was important to document our history. I definitely think this should be in schools, public schools, colleges, public libraries. I'm hoping that this will be the type of thing every year in February for Black History Month and every year in March for Women's History Month. This book will come out and, kids will maybe use it for research and, maybe they'll bring me in to speak or whatever, so that was the goals to, being Black Westchester, I focus mostly on Westchester. There are a few outside of Westchester. There's 1 or 2 women in Rockland, and there's 1 or 2 women in the Bronx. I live in Mount Vernon. The Bronx is right on the borderline. So I had already done stories on them in Black Westchester, so I just put them in there.
And what do you hope will be their takeaway when they read this book? Is it just reading about famous people who've done well, or are they role models?
Well, I know, and a lot of times when they celebrate women, it's the same women over and over, and they deserve to. Andrew Stewart Cousins and all of them who are in the book deserve to be highlighted. But I wanted everyone to walk away, no matter who you are, and be like, "Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that." I have several women. The first Black female cop, she's from Yonkers. The first Black police, New Rochelle police captain, female, and a lot of things. First nurse, first teachers, first superintendents. Just it's a lot of information, and I didn't want it to be all politics. You have your celebrities. Vanessa Williams lives in Westchester. Mary J. Blige. Ella Fitzgerald has lived in Yonkers, so all of them are in there. Nina Simone, Betty
Wow.
Shabazz moved to Mount Vernon right after Malcolm X died. So, she's in there. It's a lot. It's, it might not be a book you read all the way through. It might be a book that you come back to back and forth, and hopefully it'll be some sort of a reference book, you know.
What does the term Black girl magic mean?
Well, Black Girl Magic, actually, I wrote that down in the book.
Yeah,
Um, um, it's basically a phrase to celebrate. I'll read what I wrote. So it's just on the back of the book.
sure.
It was born as a way to celebrate the beauty, power, and resilience of Black women. Black Girl Magic was the mission, the vision of this book. Um, and it's just, we had, okay, so it came about, the first time I really heard it, there were a lot of Black women being elected. So
Yeah.
every time, and not just Westchester, around the country, we got our first Black woman on the Supreme Court. That's
Mhm.
Black Girl Magic. So the achievement of Black girls and the awesomeness of Black women, that's Black Girl Magic. And I'm sure a Black woman can explain it a whole lot better than I just did. But that's my take on it. So
You've got, besides being a journalist and an author, you were a hip hop artist, weren't you? And years back.
yes, yes. 35 something years ago. Yes, my first single came out 35 years ago in January. I was with a group called JVC Force.
Uh-huh.
My mother and father, when I was 7, decided they wanted to, show me something different in Westchester. We moved and got a house in Central Islip, Long Island. My parents broke up, and I drove my mother crazy. She sent me back to Mount Vernon to my dad for when high school. So, and then I've been back and forth. So I went back to Long Island, and I met some guys that I knew before, and we did this group, and we made a record called Strong Island, which is why Long Island is called Strong Island in hip hop circles now. So in
Ah,
1988, yes.
I read that the Black Westchester, the magazine that you founded, it's online and it's in print, and it's for people of color in Westchester and the tri-state area. And your mission is very similar to LMC Media's mission, which is your mission is to promote community through media.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
We started this, shout out to my partner, Damon K. Jones. It actually was his idea. We started this because we wanted to change the narrative of how African Americans were portrayed in media. That's one.
Mhm.
2, we wanted to highlight the achievements of African Americans, and we wanted to highlight those unsung heroes that do the work every day. And a lot of them are in this book. They don't normally get the media. They don't get, but they do it. And they do amazing jobs for their communities and stuff. We wanted to highlight them, and then it grew into holding our elected officials' feet to the fire, and hopefully teaching our community civics. While it's Black Westchester and it's geared for the African American community, we have a large non-Black audience. So that appreciate what we do and support what we do. So
And the website to see it is blackwestchester.com.
yes, yes. So we have the online magazine, news magazine,
Mhm.
which the idea was you had Time, you have Life, you had Newsweek, but you didn't have anything for African Americans. So we were doing an online version of that. That was our idea. And then 3 years into it, the community was calling for a physical newspaper. Even though we were calling ourselves a magazine, we were going to try to do a magazine. So the community asked for a newspaper. So we put out in 2017, we started the monthly newspaper, Black Westchester.
So your new book, Black Westchester Celebrates Black Women in Westchester, where's that available now?
Well, it's actually physically on Amazon right now. Or you could order it directly from me, and get an autograph copy. And I'll be doing a lot of book signings and author talks. I am in Ossining tomorrow, Ossining Public Library. I got Scarsdale on Saturday. I got Tucker Hole Library coming up. I got Greenburgh, White Plains coming up in March. So, and I'm trying to do a full library tour.
What's the best way for people to contact you?
Mr. MR, Mr. AJ Woodson at gmail.com. And that's also all my social media, MR AJ Woodson, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Yeah.
Yes, that's important to mention. You've got the social media as well as the online. and the
Yes.
print. So you're covering everything there.
We're trying, and we have the online talk radio show that we've been doing since August 2020, August 2014. I
Mhm.
just did episode 350 or 360. I'm
Wow.
not sure which. Yeah, so I took this Sunday off, my birthday, my 57th birthday. I took this Sunday off for the
Well,
national holiday. Yeah.
happy birthday to you. Happy
Thank you.
birthday. So we
Thank
can
you.
get
Thank you.
radio personality to your job description.
And yeah, we're on WVOX the first Monday of the month. I was on yesterday, the Black Westchester Power Hour.
Great.
Yes.
Well, AJ Woodson, editor-in-chief, Black Westchester, thanks for spending some time with us, and congratulations on your new book,
Thank
Black
you.
Westchester Celebrates Black Women in Westchester, now available from Amazon.
And that's the second book, if I can mind, if you don't mind. The
I
first
don't
book
mind.
was the origin story of Black Westchester. Everybody always asks how we got started. This is the whole origin story and how my faith was instrumental in this great experiment. And it tells you a lot of things I've done in my past that prepared me to do this. So it's a very good read, and people can get that's available on Amazon as well right now.
Sounds like a good companion book to your new book.
Yes, yes.
Well, thanks again. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.